Welcome to the A&R Nascar Cup Series, season number 3. We are here in the beautiful state of North Carolina, in Charlotte, for the Bank of America Roval 400, here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval, for the second road course race of the season, and this is the beginning of the playoffs. After today, 4 drivers will go home and 12 will remain. The round of 16 has finally come. Let's show you the drivers that have made the playoffs.
Here are your drivers, starting in last place with Daniel Suarez. Then there's Bubba Wallace Jr., Jimmie Johnson, Keselowski, Alex Bowman, Erik Jones, Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Austin Dillon, Daniel Hamrick, Kyle Busch, Erik Amarola, Ryan Blaney, and in first place is Dillon. And we have a pace car.
Here is the track. Start off from a launcher, go downhill into a 180, then you go through a booster, and then to another 180, and then you go to the end of the section, or the first section. If you make it past the first section, you move on to a second section, which starts off with a booster, goes all the way down to another 180, and then a little bit of short, straight track, and then you get to the end of section 2. If you make it past section 2, you move on to section number 3, which has another booster, through a 90-degree turn, onto the finish. And the driver that goes the farthest will win the race, and not only that, but will lock his spot into Miami, and he will race for a championship in the next few weeks. So let's get it started with Dillon.
Our first driver to tackle Charlotte Roval is Dillon in his number 13 Geico Chevrolet. Let's see how he does in the first section. And he made it through onto the next section. Here he is with the second section. Let's see how he does. Oh, almost won. There he goes. And he did not make it all the way. He is right next to Darrell Wallace Jr.'s hauler. He'll go right there, and that will mark his position. Any cars that go further than him or to the next section will get the lead of the race. Anything behind him or in the previous section will be in a position that is behind him. So, pretty good start. Let's see how the other 15 drivers do.
And next up, we have Ryan Blaney, who finished second in the regular season standings with 159 points, nearly 30 below Dillon, but he brought a really fast Ford to the racetrack today. Let's see if he can keep it under control and make it past Dillon. All 3 of Team Penske's cars actually made the playoffs. The only other team to get all their cars in was Richard Childress with 2 cars. And Ryan Blaney, a horrific crash on his lid. He might be in jeopardy of being eliminated. A huge playoff contender. Does not have a win this season, but unless cars wreck out behind him, Ryan Blaney is not in a good spot.
And now for the third driver to do his attempt at the Charlotte Roval, Erik Amarola and his number 10 Smithfield Ford. Let's see how well he does in 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, got it stuck there. And he missed the booster, and he perfectly put himself right next to it, so we didn't have to do a thing. How kind of him.
That is 2 major playoff contenders that might be out of the playoffs already. Ryan Blaney and Erik Amarola. The second and third drivers in the playoffs at the beginning, they might already be out. But now we have Kyle Busch in the 18. Let's see what he can do. He wrecks as well, so Dillon's still the only driver to make it past. Looks like Kyle Busch is just cozy in a little bit of felt here, just getting ready for bed.
Our next driver to tackle the Charlotte Roval is Daniel Hamrick in his number 8 Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. Let's see how well he does in 3, 2, 1, go. Through the booster, which was not primed, so he gets a rerun. Second attempt at the Charlotte Roval first section. Let's see how well he does. Through the booster, and he spins out and wrecks it right there. That will be his finishing spot right there. Let's see if any drivers can do better than that, or even better yet, better than tie.
Heck, at the rate we're going, Ryan Blaney might have a shot. That's already 2 more drivers that are below him. But now, Austin Dillon looks to see if he can take the lead from his brother. Here he goes. Nope. Ryan Blaney. The future is looking promising, even after a terrible run.
Our next driver is Joey Logano in his number 22 AAA Insurance Ford Mustang. As you can see, it's covered up by the thing that's stopping him from driving right now. Let's see how well he does at tackling the Charlotte Roval in 3, 2, 1. Actually makes it to the next section. That's only happened once before. Off to the next section with Joey Logano. Now then, will Joey Logano make it to the 3rd section and pass Ty Dillon, or will he end up in a podium spot? Make that the latter.
And the number 8 driver to run today, Kyle Larson. He won the regular season championship last year. He did not have as successful of a season this year, but still very consistent. Let's see if he can pass Ty Dillon or Joey Logano. 3, 2, 1. Nope. Kyle Larson. So that means that Ryan Blaney advances to the round of 12 with that. Because 4 drivers are behind him at this point. So, some really big heavyweights in great jeopardy of being eliminated. Kyle Larson, who has a win. Austin Dillon, who has a win, who's been on a tear lately. Erik Amarola and Tyler Reddick. So Richard Childress Racing got both of their drivers in, but is in jeopardy of getting them both out really, really quickly.
His name is Daniel Hamrick.
It's Daniel Hamrick. And next we have Kevin Harvick, who won at Martinsville and is the reigning winner of this race. So let's see if he can go back-to-back and lock his spot in Miami. And to the second section goes Kevin Harvick. Here is Kevin Harvick in section number 2. And he has made it to the 3rd section. So to the lead goes Kevin Harvick. And to the 3rd section is Kevin Harvick. Here he goes. And Kevin Harvick will finish the course. So Kevin Harvick still has the best record at this track. He did not finish the track last year. This year he does because it has been shortened. So Kevin Harvick really has the Roval figured out. Can anyone else compete with Kevin Harvick? But right now, Kevin Harvick is in position to lock his spot into Miami.
Our next driver is Ryan Newman in his Oscar Myers Ford. Let's hope he doesn't go airborne like he always seems to do. In 3, 2, 1. Through the booster, into the next section. Immediately in the next section, he is raring to go. Through the booster, and he just barely passes Ty Dillon and perfectly parallel parked himself so that we didn't have to do a thing. Thank you, Newman.
And next we have Erik Jones making his first playoff appearance and giving the 20 car its first playoff appearance in 3 seasons. In 3, 2, 1, there goes Erik. And he makes it past his teammate Kyle Busch, and he will advance to the next round. Congratulations to Erik.
Next up is Alex Bowman in his nice looking Lumar car. I like the color scheme of it. In 3, 2, 1. And he wrecks out, almost wrecking into the number 8 of Daniel Hamrick. I said his name right. And he he parked himself on the other side. I'm not sure how we should qualify this because he came off the track here and ended up perfectly parking there. So let's talk to backstage. We have decided that because of how generously he parked right next to the track after going onto his roof, we have decided that he will stay in his position and has moved past Joe Gibbs.
And next we have Brad Keselowski in the last Team Penske car to hit the track. Both of his other teammates have advanced to the next round. Let's see if Brad can do that right here. Oh, what a hard hit for Brad Keselowski. But the track has been messed up, so we should probably give him a rerun. So here's Brad Keselowski. The track has been fixed after we broke another portion. 3, 2, 1. There he goes. On to the next round. And here he is for his second round. And he just ends up being short. He's literally a car length and a half away from the next section and a potential pass of Kevin Harvick. But he charges into second place. Power move by Brad Keselowski.
Next up to tackle the Roval is Jimmie the no longer Juggernaut Johnson in his Ally Chevrolet for Team Hendrick. If he makes it past Daniel Hamrick, he will advance on to the next round and make it the furthest he ever has in his A&R Nascar career. Let's see if he will win here in 3, 2, 1. To the booster, around into the next section, locking himself into the next round, and off to the next section, which doesn't even need to jump cut. Let's just do it right now. And I could see that he slid off the track partially. His finishing position will be just barely behind Dillon, about there.
And next, Bubba Wallace. He's the second to last driver to take the track today. He barely squeaked his way into the playoffs by 1 point over Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Then we have Daniel Suarez, who finished second to last in the standings. Yet because of his one win, he jumps above the cut line. So Ricky Stenhouse Jr. really doesn't like Daniel Suarez right now. But that is a subject for a different time. Let's get going. Oof!
And the final driver here today at Charlotte. Sorry about that. The final driver here to race at Charlotte is Daniel Suarez in his number 41 Haas Ford. Daniel Hamrick has made it to the final round, or not the final round. I mean the next round at Talladega. And these 4 drivers could potentially be eliminated if Daniel Hamrick makes it past any of them. But, my bad, Daniel Suarez. If Daniel Suarez wrecks here, then Erik Amarola will advance to the next round of Talladega. And again, if Daniel Suarez makes it past the booster, then he advances on, and all of these 4 drivers will be eliminated from the playoffs. Let's see how the final driver does here to tackle Charlotte Roval. 3, 2, 1. White flag waves. Go. Through the booster. He wrecks out, but it doesn't matter. He makes it to the next round at Talladega. And these 4 drivers are all out of here.
And for the second consecutive year, Kevin Harvick wins at the Charlotte Roval. So Kevin Harvick definitely knows something about the Roval that we don't, because he won here last year, and he won here this year, and it wasn't even close. He is, once again, the only driver to make it into the last section, and he has secured his spot in Miami. He will race for a championship in the next few weeks in Miami, and will be given the preferred line every race or every stage race that he's given because he was the first to lock in a spot. So Jimmie Johnson really likes winning here at the Charlotte Roval. Yes, they do. Brad Keselowski finishes second, so just short of the victory here at the Roval. Ryan Newman finishes third. Fourth will go to Ty Dillon, another top 5 finish. And then Jimmie Johnson will round out the top 5. What a strong run for him. He advances to the round of 12 for the first time in his career. Joey Logano rounds out the top 6, as he's the only other driver to make it past into round 2. Moving back here, Alex Bowman will be 7th. 8th goes to Erik Jones. 9th goes to Kyle Busch. And rounding out the top 10 is the 12 of Ryan Blaney. So yes, Ryan Blaney makes it into the round of 12. What looked like a very jeopardizing accident early on turned out not to be so bad, because other drivers behind him had issues. Daniel Hamrick, not Tyler Reddick, but Daniel Hamrick makes it into the round of 12 just barely. And the final driver to make it into the round of 12 is the 41 of Daniel Suarez. He comes in clutch once again. He was eliminated here last year out of the round of 16, but this year he had just enough speed to make it through. Few heavyweights back here that got eliminated early on that looked like major playoff contenders. Erik Amarola, after finishing 3rd in the standings, he will not make it to the round of 12. This is the 2nd time in his career he's made it to the playoffs, and the 2nd time he gets eliminated in the round of 16. He's had a very good career, but yet disappointing, because every time he makes the playoffs, he ends up getting eliminated in the first round. Austin Dillon, after finishing the season with a win at Darlington and a 2nd place running in Indianapolis, gets eliminated. Bubba Wallace just barely makes it in and will be eliminated. And Kyle Larson, a major contender as well, will not make it into the next round. So, thank you all for watching here, the Bank of America Roval 400. Kevin Harvick is moving on to Miami, and he will race for the championship.